Hey, it finally went above 30 degrees. Yeah, we've been below zero here for so long. Today's supposed to be 30, tomorrow they's talking about 36. So we'll probably stick our heads outside now. We've been hunkering down. I made chicken soup a couple of times already. Yep. So, thought today we'd make a little video. You can see Diane's working on her shawl she's making for my dad. She's counting, I can tell. She's deep in thought.
Yes, deep in thought.
So I'll show you the shawl when she's done.
When I get it done.
Yeah. The quilt on the couch is something she made. We have these things all around the house. Maybe I'll show you some of them before we go out and about. Here's one of her little wall hangings that she made.
It's a doll quilt.
It's called a doll quilt. I'm sorry, she just corrected me. She says if I'm going to be displaying these and showing them to people, I need to know what they are. It's a doll quilt. Okay, this one over here hanging on the wall. I have to get this right now. A 1850s reproduction crib quilt. There, I said it right.
Yes, you did.
Yeah. So this is in our hallway. Now we have a rug beater above it. Here's one that she has in her quilt room. The border's called Flying Geese, and I don't know what the center is, stars of some kind. She's not in here, so she won't hear me, so she won't be correcting me. But that's just another one she made. And here's a project she's working on now, and this is for the Living History organization that we belong to, the 3rd Minnesota. And she's making some kind of doll clothes here of some kind for it. And once she gets this done, I'll show you this doll too. So I conned Diane into telling us a little bit about these quilts because I think she does such a good job with these. So
Yeah, we're going to give you a little quilt show.
yeah.
Okay, so this one is dog hair. When we had our dog, he shed all over the place. Anyway, this is called Four Square Farmhouse, and I decided to do it in Amish colors just because I like Amish quilts too. So I also backed this with a flannel backing, and this is Black Watch plaid. And it makes just a really, really warm, cozy quilt. And you can see it's big enough that it pretty much covers our queen-size bed. So some of them are bright. Some of the Amish wear a little bit brighter colors, and some of them wear the more darker subdued colors. But you know, that's all good. There's so many different Amish out there. So one community would wear different colors from the next. So that's why I put the different solid colors in it. So then the next quilt that I'm going to show, and I'll just take this off the bed. Since Tony and I are Civil War reenactors, I made this for him to use in camp, but he's so afraid to use it because he doesn't want to harm it in any way or for it to, you know, get harmed or anything. But This is a reproduction sanitary commission quilt, and the sanitary commission in the Civil War is like the forerunner of the Red Cross nowadays. So they put the call out to women everywhere that they needed quilts, and it had to be a specific width and a specific length. And this is just a reproduction with the Civil War fabrics. And right here, if you want to zoom in, I made this little patch right here, and this was common for women to write little sayings or their signature in quilts. And this one just says, "When this you see, oh, remember me." And that was a real common sentiment back during the Civil War. And they could have used a dress fabric, so that's kind of what I did here to try to, for them to put a piece of them in the quilt, especially if they were making it for their husband or son, their father, whatever. They would have a dress fabric, so it's just a nice sentiment for a soldier. So then we're going to go on to the next quilt, and this is another quilt. It's just a 9 patch and a 4 patch, and it's all made in Civil War reproduction, mid-19th century reproduction. And the pink quilts, especially pink and brown and pink and navy blue, was a real common color combination in clothing and in quilts back in the 19th century. And then this next quilt is called Trip Around the World, the pattern. You can see how it kind of forms a concentric, circle with the different diamonds and squares, and the color patterns, how there's movement in the quilt, and that's how it got its name, Trip Around the World. And it's done in, here again, the 19th century fabrics, more indicative of probably the 1870s going into the 1880s types of fabrics. And you can see it's quite a large quilt also. And then the quilt over the bed is a bow tie quilt with three-dimensional technique in there to give it some dimension. And this is more modern. Every once in a while I feel the need to make a modern quilt just to kind of cleanse my eye palette from these muted reproduction fabrics, and I just have to make something modern every once in a while.
Thank you so much.
And that's my quilt show.
Well, we wound up back in the living room, so Diane could tell you just a little bit about this quilt.
Okay, we're going to continue on with our quilt show. And this is another reproduction quilt. It's about the size of a twin size bed, so it's a nice size quilt to cuddle up on the couch. This is a 4 patch on point, and I made it to bring into its Civil War camp. So here again, it's all in the reproduction fabrics. When I had started this quilt, all these 4 patches are hand pieced, all by hand, and then sewn onto the setting triangles by hand. So that's all hand pieced. And then once I got this all hand pieced, then this sashing, I sewed it on my treadle sewing machine that you see right there. And then all the quilt then is all hand quilted. So all in all, from start to finish, the quilt took me exactly 1 year to make.
That wasn't full time though.
No, because I worked at the same time, but still, it was still a lot of work.
Well, who knew that was going to turn out to be a whole quilt show, hey? So hope you enjoyed that. That's one of Diane's hobbies.
One of them.
Yep. She's got lots of them.
I'm bicraftual,
Yeah.
which means I quilt, I knit, I crochet.
And then when she gets done for the day, she'll tell me how bad her fingers hurt. And it's like, well, you know, you can see the movements in the fingers you need to do when you do all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, anyway, we hope you enjoyed that, and we'll catch you later. Have a nice day. We're going to go out and about and enjoy our 30-degree weather.
Yeah.
We'll
We're all excited about 30 degrees.
Can you imagine
Woohoo!
that? Yep. So we'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.